So here it is, 2026, and you're ready to build your home. So before we even get started with you on that, one thing we want to do is bring you in before we even have drawings. We want to kind of get an idea of what you want. So we're going to look at cabinets, countertops, flooring. We're going to go from quartz, quartzite, regular natural stones, types of cabinets. Are we going to do painted, stained? Are we going to do an RTA? Flooring. Are we going to get you into an engineered hardwood, tile, or an LVP? These are some of the kind of things that we want to know. So when we go get the set of plans, we already know what we're going to be pricing you at. That way, we're not sitting here just guessing on pricing. We have a great idea of what you're looking for, and it'll take us maybe an hour before we even get into the design stage to have a good idea, and we're feeling what you're wanting. And that way, we're all on the same page to make this build come together. That way we have, your inspirations. We put everything on our vibe board. That way we're designing it with you, and that we're not just flying by the seat of our pants and designing as we go. We can do that, but typically that takes time, and time is always money. We want to be ahead of the game, so we know what products we're going to be putting in before we're even breaking ground. They can change a little bit here and there, but if we have a great concept of what you want, it's going to make this job go flawless and a whole lot easier. So where we're going to start is we're going to start at your flooring, because if we know what kind of flooring you want, not it, we don't have to know right off the bat if you're going to do wood floor, tile floor, or LVP. But if we have a good concept of a color and a style you want, that helps us build the base to go into the cabinetry. Are we going to two-tone your cabinets? Are we going to do an island a different color than your perimeter? Are we going to do all the same color cabinets with different color countertops? This gives us our color palette to work with. Now, a lot of you guys may have designers, which we want to work hand in hand with the designers so that we're on the same page, and then we can keep each other accountable for, on the selections. Is this going to work? Is this not going to work? Because one of our biggest issues, sometimes the designer will create an island that is way too big for the type of material that they choose. So we can seam them, but once we get into that, you're getting a seam, and sometimes the slabs will not match up. So we just have to take in consideration, one, when we're pricing you, we want to know kind of budget pricing as well, because the engineered wood floor is going to be more money than the tile. The tile is going to be pretty comparable to the LVP, which we don't really care much to put LVP in, but if that's what you want, that's what you get. So the price difference between wood and tile, labor-wise, is about the same, but the cost of the material is totally different, because we have our underlayments, we have our glue, and the material cost is more expensive. Maintenance is two different ball games. Tile is very easy. Wood, you have to walk on eggshells with it. Dogs, kids, they will scratch it. So you just have to take that into mind when picking your selections. Now, with that being said, once you have kind of your design aspect down with the flooring, we can move into cabinets, countertops, paint, things of that sort that will enhance the build and make sure everything comes together for you. So now that we have your flooring dialed in, what we're going to do is look at type of cabinets. What kind of budget do you have for cabinets? What are you looking for? Because that'll kind of dictate, the design aspects. Everybody wants a glamorous kitchen, but not everybody has the budget for it. So we have RTA cabinets, which are ready to assemble. This is the lower end of the cabinets. They still look nice, but they're not the full overlay with the European style doors where you're going to see spaces around it. They're not horrible cabinets, but you're not going to get custom sizes. And you're only going to get 5 to 10 colors to choose from. White, gray, blue, couple of stain options, maybe a eggshell white, but nothing crazy. They come in a box that you have to build. Typically they're Chinese made. Now we have our semi-custom, which you can get to any size, but they come with different stains, different paint colors, any color that you want for paint, we can have that done. Now we also have a laminated foil cabinet, which I here in Florida personally like because they're not wood, they don't swell. They do kind of they don't give the real feel to it, but depending on your budget, that's where we're going to base your cabinets off of. Now, the difference between custom and RTA is well over 100% because the RTAs, they're very inexpensive, but if you don't have the budget for custom, that's the route you're going to go, or semi-custom, which by the time you've gone semi-custom, you're already close to the custom cost, depending on the cabinet company that you have chosen to use. Because cabinets, their prices vary across the board. So now that you've picked your cabinets, now we jump into the jewelry of your kitchen. That's going to be your countertops. So we have options of natural stone and quartz. Now, quartz isn't just one product. I mean, there's many companies that produce quartz. You've got Cambria, you've got Pompeii, you've got MSI, Caesar Stone, Silestone. Now, everything you see around you is what we supply, and these are large brands that stand behind their companies. They have warranties with their product. They have people who will come out if there is an issue with the product. The reps will come out, take a look at it to make sure that it wasn't the installer or it was a manufacturing defect. If there's any issues, personally, over 25 years, I've never had an issue with a manufacturer product, but they will stand behind it. But some of the differences are, you have your thicknesses. A standard thickness is a 3 cm, which is 1.25 inches thick. Now, this is a natural stone. Quartz comes the same thickness as well. But the difference is natural stone, every stone has its own life. It's got a different pattern. You'll never find two of the same. They're very unique. Quartz is very low maintenance, which that's what drives people towards quartz. It's low maintenance and the colors are becoming so vibrant that they get them to look exactly like natural stone. Take this piece into account, the Taj Mahal, that's the new up and coming color. This is a quartz that looks like Taj Mahal. So they're integrating the quartz to look more like natural stones now. But it's all in preference and price. And once you get into the quartz sites like a Taj Mahal, your price levels go up. But some of the quartzes as well, which we have luxury series in some of our brands, and they cost as much as a quartzite piece. So it's all in what the look you're looking for and what type of kitchen you are going with. That's when you start picking out your countertops. The prices do vary, and it's all in you selecting the right countertop company, right cabinet company, right flooring company to make sure you're making the right decisions. So here at JN Development Group, we're going to walk you through each aspect. We're going to give you the price breakdown so you know going into it what you're getting, how much you're spending. Maybe you have a little more in your budget now because we saved you in a certain area from going one floor to another. We help you price shop with it. So you're staying within your budget, keeping within your means, and making sure you get exactly what you want. Because at the end of the day, your kitchen is going to be your focal point. Your floors are going to be your focal point. And these are items you don't ever want to have to change. We don't want you to have to renovate your kitchen for another 20 years because you're staying up with the times. You're not being dated. And that's one big thing that we like to harp on. Don't do outdated products. If you really love it, do it. But I want to make sure that you are 100% happy. So reach out to us and we'll have all the contact information here at the bottom. We're going to help you design, build, and create the kitchen, bath, house that you're looking for here in 2026.